what's up, guys? This is John. Thanks again for coming back and joining us for another episode of The Collectors. Today, we're at this fine gentleman's house. Jack, thanks for having us out here, man. Appreciate you. All right, so I've heard a little bit about this, but now we actually get to see it. So, what you got?
We got a big scale, huge scale of Star Wars paraphernalia, memorabilia, whatever you want to call it. It's Star Wars stuff all over the place. G.I. Joe collection. It's a whole bunch of memories that I had as a kid that I could go in the store and get off the shelf and think, hey, you know, this is what I used to play with, even though it's not the vintage Star Wars stuff. But it's just like a walk-in memory lane.
Let's check it out, man.
Come on.
Dude, this is crazy.
I tried to tell you. I mean, from the floor to the ceiling, all the way back to the wall. Star Wars stuff, as you can see, G.I. Joe stuff. And there's a little touch of samurai memorabilia. So, what you see? I'm a big kid at heart. And going into the stores, it's like going back into memory lane, you know. I don't have all the vintage G.I. Joe stuff that I would like to have, but you know, you look back and you see Star Wars. Star Wars has come from being a film that was thought to be nothing. Right. And I thought, if anything, not just being fascinated with Star Wars, that if one day this isn't worth anything, maybe I can make this into like different scenes of the movie and maybe charge some money for it. you know, like a museum or sort of, you know, a place that's set up with the different figures. If the value was nothing, you know.
So Star Wars, obviously, like me and obviously you and a lot of other people, I'm sure that we're going to have on the show and people who have watched this, but I mean, obviously it has a special place in your heart. Where does that come from? Like, what's your earliest Star Wars memory? How did it hook you in?
Well, I mean, I like Star Wars because basically it's a way of life. It's kind of like, you know, a philosophy of the Jedi and the Sith. And it kind of reminded me of the martial arts movies I saw with like different samurai figures, and you see that kind of with the Darth Vader resemblance to the samurai.
Right.
So I like the whole idea that it's a culture, you know, and not just you're searching through the galaxy for, you know, an unknown planet like Star Trek.
Right.
You know, so.
Right. Yeah, it's there. So hey, man, just walk through. Let's see some of the highlights.
I'll take you right to the hot item, which is the prototype Boba Fett right here, the white Boba Fett. And I'll move the big Boba Fett so we can see what else is behind it. A whole bunch of prototype Boba Fetts. And the reason why I have so many, you might think, well, why do you need so many? It's because when I went to certain stores, I was told, hey, we don't have this and we're not going to get it. And, you know, it's kind of an attitude thing with the store. So I was like, okay, let me go check back at this store since you don't have it now. And so when I came back, there was like 5 or 6 of them. So I bought 5 or 6 of them or whatever they had. So I made it my business to go to Walgreens. Didn't see it, but then I kept looking. You know, the hump carried on from 1 Boba Fett to 24.
The other story with this is Jack and I worked together, and when these came out, I was like, oh man, I got to get one of these things. And then it turned into, oh hey, every day it seemed like for a while it was, oh, I got another one. I was like, good God, by the time I got to get one, dude, you're going to have them all. You get their freaking market cornered. I mean, there's a whole nother display stand full of them over there.
Yeah,
you've got stuff literally to the back wall, almost to the ceiling.
Right.
How many pieces are in this collection that you?
I would estimate, well, in 2007, my last count was over 3,000. So right now it's probably maybe 4,000 pieces. So it's a lot. Yeah. It's my inventory list. So as you can see, I scratched out all of the numbers where I left off. And as of, it looks like September 17, 2007, there was 3,037 pieces that I counted and stopped counting from there.
So 2007, there were 3,000. So you think in the past 5 years, or no, that'd be what, 8 years?
8 years, yeah.
You've only bought 1,000 more pieces of Star Wars?
Maybe. Maybe.
I think you may have.
Maybe.
Dude, I've seen some stuff in here that's newer than that. That
Right.
is a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Then you see the scene from episode 4 where they go to Luke's uncle's house. Kind of looks like a little igloo there with stormtroopers and his uncle.
Oh yeah, that Hoth cannon there.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Empire Strikes Back version of that one. It's freaking awesome. You need to have this up so that when you walk in,
right,
you need the Force to be with you in here, man. Golly, you can get the jackets and stuff down here.
right.
And I promise you, this is not like the storage room of some toy store. This is actually his house.
Right. This is not Toys R Us's warehouse.
God.
This is in my garage. Yeah, we got some vintage cards here from way back in the day when Star Wars came out.
I remember these.
So they vary in series. I think these came from Burger King, so they look a little different from the ones that follow.
I love this, like the way these old cards color in the back. You know, the way
Right.
the paint gets absorbed.
I was trying to look up and find the one where they said C-3PO, you know, had the boner. And so
Yeah.
I looked and looked. I don't have that. I was hoping, you know. But I mean, I have a lot of them, and a lot of these repeat. But it's a whole bunch. It goes all the way back to here, so it's quite a bit.
So when did you start, like, collecting? Like, what's your?
The official date, year. I mean, I've been collecting for so long, I couldn't tell you a specific date. It's been well over a decade. I mean, as you can tell by the date on my inventory list, 2007. But it's been well before that. I'd say probably maybe the early to late 90s.
Now, were you a kid? You were a kid that played with his toys?
I did.
Yeah, me too.
I did. I mean, and that's kind of how I lost my G.I. Joe collection. Thanks to my mom. I love my mom dearly, but she decided to give, not sell, give my G.I. Joe, vintage G.I. Joe to the Salvation Army.
Nice.
I mean, it's a great cause, but it broke my heart big time. I almost had a stroke, aneurysm, you know, heart attack.
I'm sure the Salvation Army appreciated that.
Yeah, they did. And then the comic book store did as well.
Well, so you are in an advanced state of a problem, I guess you could call it, that most of us who collect stuff, at least anything of any size, have, which is you're running out of room, bro. Yeah. So where do you see this going? What's the next step? I mean, because you're about maxed out.
Next step is when we buy or build a home, and there's going to be a room dedicated to Star Wars.
Nice. Yeah, the first episode we did that, Ted was saying how he had actually, when they had their house built, they actually built part of it around a place for him to put his, like, you know, his beer steins and stuff. So that'll be a cool freaking room. I'll definitely have to. We'll have to do a follow-up episode.
You got the invite.
Check out on this. So besides I guess this is just a pure, like, Star Wars collection. You're not even like an action figure collector. You're just a Star Wars collector. G.I. Joe, I guess, doesn't have quite as much licensed properties as like Star Wars does as far as
No, actually, I've shopped around for different G.I. Joe figures, and Hasbro's kind of toned that down. I mean, they started with the vintage look, the vintage packaging, like maybe a few years back, and then they just stopped.
Yeah, because these look fairly similar to like the original ones back in the day I remember having. See, you're different than me because, like, I went back and started building mine based on trying to go back and get those that I had as a kid. And you're just like, whatever. I'm getting all the new stuff. Right. Like, you ever thought about going back and trying for the vintage stuff?
I do have some vintage
expensive,
stuff.
but
I do have some vintage stuff. I locked up during Hurricane Katrina. A friend of mine, he had all of the Star Wars stuff. He had the Death Star. He had all of the different play sets. So I said, look, I'll give you $500 for all of this.
Nice.
Got it. But I lost most of it to Katrina. But some of it's in this box over here. Some of the play sets here.
Oh, yeah.
So all of this in here is vintage Star Wars. And then I have a Darth Vader carrying case of all of the vintage Star Wars figures with the names on them. So I have all those old figures. Cool. They're not in the best condition, but I do have them. These are 501st Stormtroopers.
Okay.
Yeah, you can take one out.
Wow.
can get them at the Hasbro toy shop when they were available, and they limited to purchase to 2 at a time. So what I did, I bought 2, then signed back on, bought another 2, signed back on. So a friend of mine gave me like a discount coupon.
Dude, those are cool, man. 2006 it says on there.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't realize when I looked through my inventory list. You know how they had the what is it? Star Wars Unleashed figures
Force Unleashed, yeah.
In the little cylindrical box.
Yeah, with it like flying around.
Right. I didn't realize I had a whole bunch of these Shadow Troopers. So I have a few of those. I think I have 4 of those. George Lucas in a Stormtrooper disguise, which is pretty cool. But you have to sacrifice maybe about 5 figures to get them.
5 of these?
Yeah, not 5 of them.
So you murdered 25
I did. For
George.
I did it for George.
That's pretty cool though.
So this is George in his Stormtrooper disguise. Maybe he was in one of the movies and we didn't see it.
This room.
Oh, let me show you what I have that's real cool. Now this, talk about vintage, and this is the original soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
On vinyl.
Yeah. John Williams.
Right, and I think he got an Oscar for that, if anything, for Star Wars, for the composition.
That's cool. That is really cool, man.
So I have some vintage stuff, but G.I. Joe vintage stuff, no. I used to. Actually, my mom got that for me. She kind of redeemed herself a little bit. She got that at a garage sale.
Sorry for ruining your G.I. Joe.
Right. She kind of got it from a garage sale.
Wow.
I think she got it for $5 or something like that.
Wow. They don't even really credit him publicly on here now. I guess he's on there at the bottom, but he'd be featured a lot more prominently, I think, in today's time.
Right. Yeah, you can see some of the frames from the movie.
That's awesome. What are these? These are like the throwback. Pull that down.
Yeah, that's Target exclusive.
Oh yeah, yeah. They did these in the original movie action figures where they released these 3-packs towards the end of that run. I mean, you could imagine what those would, if you could even find them.
Right.
And it may have been those same combinations of. That's cool though. See, to me, I mean, having the vintage figures myself. These are cool, but I like the articulation. These are too cool. You know, they're too well done. I like the old school, like just no bend to the arms or anything. I mean, what else do you collect besides this?
I have G.I. Joe.
Like you need something else, dude.
I collect money.
Yeah?
So I got gold, silver, paper money. And it's not Monopoly money. It's the real deal.
Well, let's take a look at some of that, man.
So as you can see here, I'm going to move some of this stuff over here. We got envelopes of money. Got a little symbol for money. But right here you have what's called 2 bricks. And these bricks contain $2,000 worth of $2 bills. So.
Wow. Dude, that looks like a movie, like when you're going to like there should be like a die pack in here or something that blows up if you open this. That's real cash.
It's real cash. It's real cash.
See, I can't have this obsession and then keep much of this. That seems these two are hard to come by. Like, do you have like any rare like bills or?
I have some rare bills. They're all at the bottom of this.
That's all $5 bills.
These are all $5 bills. These are more current $5 bills.
So what's besides? You don't have these in here for savings. You have these in here for a collectible.
Right.
What makes this? What made you pack up $250 of $5 bills?
Well, this is the new design of the $5 bill in 2013. So
it was basically here's the new design.
And so I just collected it and just to keep it uncirculated. And then the reason why I like collecting fresh money is take a smell. It smells.
It does smell good.
Yeah.
It smells like victory.
Right.
I just would want to like no, you know.
Can't do that.
That's what I want to grab a stack of money and just thumb through it, you know.
And then in here I have some bills and sleeves, and I have them.
This would be what my money collection looked like. It'd be a few of those. That would be it.
And they start in denominational order from the $1 bill on to this is a silver note. And then I have some $2 bills that are back here.
So what makes these different than not as far as the?
Well, these are all in series, and
Oh, I gotcha.
these are crisp. I got them from the bank. A lot of people don't realize. I mean, you can get a lot of this stuff from the bank instead of going to different coin shops and paying like $20 for something like this condition. But what they do get, they get
These definitely. I'm not digging into your stuff, but I mean, these definitely look like that looks weird. Like if I got this in a bag, I'd be like, dude, that's not even real money. Like, what is the deal with this one?
Well,
like
that's a blue note. Yeah, and I think the story behind that is the reason why they use blue ink is because of the war. You know, they conserve that green paint for the vehicles and stuff.
That's weird. So these are all from around like World War II era?
Let's see. Let's see what year this is. This is 1934. Yeah. Okay. So that's part of the story what I've got from some of the coin dealers that I deal with. And then in here,
like I don't ever get into like on the show or nothing like that because the values of stuff to me is not as important. I don't really even care. To me, it's just cool that you have this stuff. But I mean, when you start talking about money, then it becomes a little bit more relevant. Like, what is a 1930 something blue $5 bill worth?
Well,
I don't know anything about this stuff.
That one's worth $40. I have a set of 3. The whole set was $120. And this one, this is a, I think this is a gold certificate, $10 bill, is worth $65.
Wow, that's freaking cool, man.
So then I have some 20s. This one is worth $45.
If you're noticing, these are going up in value.
$50 star note. And then this one is a radar, and that's simply because of the serial number. The word radar is spelled the same way backwards and forwards, and so does the serial number go the same way backwards and forwards.
Oh, okay. So like you're saying, like starting here, or you get like an anagram. Is that what it is? Where you flip it? I don't know, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, so if you look at it from either end of the serial number,
like Taco Cat is spelled the same.
Right.
See, $50 is what?
$50. Then there's a $100 bill. These star notes that are in series. I looked up and found that at the bank, and if you notice, that's the new $100 bill, and it's pretty cool. I mean, if you look at the details of the $100 bill as they did it, I mean, look at this. You got a hologram going behind the actual paper part of the money.
Wow.
So if you really want to counterfeit that or copy it, you got to do some work.
Pretty cool, man.
So I'm impressed with Congress, you know, allowing the Mint or the BEP to print these, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, to do this. I mean, it's pretty impressive when you look at the details.
Yeah, it's super cool, man.
And then as we go along, you know, the denominations increase. We have a $500 bill.
Jeez.
Yeah. We have...
You don't believe a $500. This is from what, 1924? 34?
I mean... Who knows? Rockefeller could have held that in his hand.
So what's a $5 bill? Is this accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate for the price. What's
$675?
Right. And this is the $1,000 bill.
Jeez.
With Grover Cleveland on it. William McKinley is on the $500.
Yeah, so McKinley and Cleveland. Here's a trivia question for you. Dude, those are freaking sick. What's the $1,000 bill go for?
$14.50.
Not many of these go for less than their denominations, do they?
And believe it or not, I mean, like...
This is the first time I've ever held $1,500 in 2 fingers here with just 2 little pieces of paper. That's awesome, man. That's really cool.
And then behind it, you have some old, bigger notes. And I'll show you some of those. I don't know, for whatever reason, that, you know, the government decided to make big bills. I mean, these look fake, but they're actually real money. I mean, look how big these are compared to...
What's the age of these? One of these?
I think that's a 23.
23, yeah. Yeah, that's like crazy. Like, yeah, so this is the size of basically $1 up today. So yeah, it's wow.
Yeah,
$55. Not bad.
Then I have,
those are super old. Huh?
Right, I got that from a friend of mine's mother. She had some cash that her mom had, so I bought them. You know, it was a pretty cool collection, and that's where I got some of my gold from too. Wow. And she's got some silver coins, the Morgans. I have some of those. This is the gold. Let's see. This is a eagle, $10 denomination, and then there I think you have a quarter eagle, 1920. 12, and then I don't know what the eagle was worth. Off the top of my head, I don't know what year it is. I have another eagle.
Got a little weight to it too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one is maybe. It's got to be a
1901.
This one is 1910.
No, is this like a half an ounce or is this an ounce or?
Those are an ounce. And this is 1/10 of an ounce.
Wow. A tenth of an ounce. 1 ounce. Wow. It's kind of cool to hold gold. I think it's cooler to hold gold than cash than even the old dollar bills. I don't know if I've ever held a gold coin before. You notice I was watching my hands. Get a pat down when we leave the. Yeah, you don't see the armed guard standing outside.
Yeah, that's police officers out here. And there's some other cool stuff in here, like the presidential coins or whatever. These are like the first strike coins of the presidential dollar coins. They weren't real gold. I mean, they were advertised as gold presidential coins, but they're not real gold.
That's a cool box.
So yeah, these are the strikes. This is a Lincoln. You got Pierce.
So what are these from?
Presidential coins. I mean, it's gonna end in 2016. So it was started in 2007 when they released all of the $1 presidential coins.
That's cool.
So that's one set. At one time I had $4,000 worth of the coins because I used to get them from the bank. That's who sold them. You know, and you get it for the denomination that's worth.
Really nice box too.
That is. I mean, I got it off of the cable shopping network, which I will not do that again. I got some Star Wars stuff from them too.
I mean, it's in you.
Yeah, they got me. This is another set of different presidential coins.
So do you look at like the collecting the coins and the currency? Does it feel the same to you as collecting the Star Wars figures, or is this more about like an investment as opposed to the emotion involved with this, or is it the same?
Right? There's a lot of emotion involved with the Star Wars. I mean, because that's stuff I grew up on, playing with Star Wars toys. But like I said, I don't have a lot of the vintage Star Wars stuff. And as it relates to the G.I. Joe, I have none of the vintage. I mean, thanks to my mother, who I love very dearly. She gave it away. Gave, not sold. Gave it away to Salvation Army.
My mom did that to some Fantastic Four comics.
She sold yours though.
Yeah, she sold them for a nickel a piece. Yeah, I guess she got something for them.
She got something. See, these are another set of presidents.
Talking like 1960s 12-cent Fantastic Four comic books. Thanks, Mom, for that as well. But hey, we love our parents.
Right.
To you parents out there, I guess our collector parents are probably not going to have those issues. Yeah. If you happen to be watching this, though, grandma or somebody that collects stuff that you're storing at your house or in your attic, don't get rid of it like that.
It may be worth
check with them first. Yeah. Well, it's always worth something, you know.
Right.
Well,
here it's worth a lot.
Yeah, it's worth a lot.
But if you look close at these coins, you can see the detail, and that's the difference in the striking of the coin.
It is really. It almost looks like they're going to start talking or something like this. Yeah.
So if you look at those compared to what's circulated, they look entirely different. They're like proofs, and the difference between a proof and uncirculated, a proof is struck more times,
right,
for the detail. Yeah. And this is a silver $1 bill.
Wow, $100 bill.
A $100 bill.
Can I?
Yeah.
Look at that. Ben Franklin never looks so good.
So there's a range of stuff that I collect. I mean, but of course, the action figures and stuff mean a lot more than just the money. I mean, money I love, but Star Wars, I mean, it's just a part of your upbringing. You know, as a kid, you grew up on this stuff. And it kind of brings back those memories.
You come out here a lot and just kind of feed off the vibe.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I can see that. Definitely feels kind of cool in here, you know, in this room.
You know, I like the ambiance, if you want to call it that. The Star Wars. I mean, I didn't want to put all of this all over the house. I mean, I love Star Wars, but I think that'd be really kind of.
Your wife's like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it'd be kind of tacky. Yeah. So yeah.
At some point, maybe we can come back and do an episode 2 for you that, you know, spread it out a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, I think in your neighborhood you said you'd have to have a permit.
Right. To put it out on the street and everything. Yeah.
I mean, 4,000 plus pieces, and some of these things are pretty freaking big.
Yeah.
So, dude, that's awesome, brother. Listen, thanks a lot for letting us come out. I
Not
know
a
a lot
problem.
of these guys
Anytime.
are going to be freaking drooling.
Anytime. You're welcome to my world again. So.
I want to just grab stuff and start running out of here. Grab something and run, Rachel.